Hello and welcome to another tutorial for ArtRage 4. This is going to be a demonstration on how to make dry paint wet and how to make wet paint dry. Okay. If you look at these two images I have on my screen, well, it's one image split in two. They look pretty much identical, right? But if I were to use my palette knife, okay, and I'll set that to its reset default and drag that over the paintings, you'll see that the left side smears while the right side scrapes. Okay, so this right side is pretty much dry paint while the left side is wet. If I wanted to dampen the right side, what I could do is add a new layer, use a pure white paint. Okay, it's got to be pure white. Select my paintbrush tool. Okay, it's called the oil brush. Set the thinners all the way down to 0% and leave the rest default. If you don't know what the defaults are, just click up at the top here, click reset tool, and then just drag that thinners bar to the left and you'll be where you need to be. Okay, you just make a little mark on your painting here. Okay, this is on that blank layer. I prefer to use the palette knife at this point to smooth that out by using the soft setting for it. I just smooth that little area out. Use the selection tool, set to replace and set on rectangle to select an area, and then use your transform tool to transform that so that it covers your canvas up. Okay, so right now this white area is all a single thickness of that oil paint. Okay, it's just smoothed out. If I go to the layer menu here and select blend mode, I can set it to multiply, and it looks like I erased it, but I didn't. I basically made it transparent. Okay, so that white is still there, it's just visible to us. Select that layer menu again. This time go to bump blend mode, and on that menu you want to select add. Okay, so what this is going to do when we merge these two layers is going to add that wet paint that's transparent to our bottom drawing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that by selecting the layer menu and setting it to merge the layer down. So it just dropped that paint down on top of my painting there. So now if I use the palette knife, again I'm going to set it to default and drag it over that painting, you can see how it's smearing. Okay, so it smears just like the left side. You have to excuse me, I've been losing my voice all day here. So it's wet paint again. Now, if I want to dry the paint, okay, so I want to make it dry like it had been, what I can do is add a layer, again using white paint, but this time I'm going to use the ink pen. Okay, I prefer to use the square head for this and just make a single dab right in the center. So I have a square mark from my ink pen. I'm going to transform that so that it covers my canvas. Okay, I'm going to go back to blend mode and set it to multiply again. But this time, for bump blend mode, I'm going to set it to replace. Okay, so I'm going to replace the wet paint at the bottom with the dry paint from the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and merge that down. And now if I use the palette knife on it, once again you can see I'm basically just scraping that paint instead of dragging it around and smearing it like I am on the left. Okay, so it's dry again.